Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out last year, and I will admit that I thoroughly enjoyed Violet despite a few crashes, glitches, and bugs. Playing co op was an absolute blast, even if it added nothing to the game in terms of mechanics. I beat the Elite Four and the Champion, I toppled Team Star, I conquered the Titans. And then I considered the game pretty much done. I know there was more to it after that, but I had gotten my entertainment out of it. Or so I thought. Recently, the itch to play more Violet came over me. Unfortunately, I had bought a new Switch since last year, and for a very insane reason, Game Freak does not allow cloud backup saves of Pokemon Violet. Somehow, in the process of transferring things over to my new Switch, I deleted my Violet save file by accident. No worries, I thought to myself. I have started over in Pokemon games before loads of times. I'll pick a different starter, skip through the cutscenes, and enjoy the adventure all over again. I'll even make a series of videos about the journey. Pokemon Violet does not have a button to skip cutscenes. Oh, and this option in the settings, yeah, this does nothing. Y'all, the Pokemon franchise is the highest grossing media franchise of all time, and they can't include a functioning skip button in their games. And my word, are these cutscenes long. Sometimes NPCs like Arvin or Nimona will start to explain a great deal of tedious nonsense. The information they want to convey is so incredibly inconsequential that it would not hurt not to know it, even if it was the first playthrough. Before the NPC launches into their monologue, sometimes the game gives a helpful prompt that essentially asks if you'd like the NPC to continue their explanation. I'm going to ask you to guess what happens if you tell the game that you don't want to listen anymore. Go on, guess. Pause the video if you need more time to think. If you guessed that the NPC goes through their entire speech anyway, you guessed right. Has this put a damper on my second playthrough? Well, only in the sense that each and every cutscene, and there are many of them, especially in the early hours of the game, sets my teeth on edge and makes me want to punch a Pichu hard enough to launch it into orbit. I don't love the story of this Pokemon game. I don't love the story of any Pokemon game. I love battling Pokemon, finding and catching new Pokemon, training up a team of Pokemon, and completing the Pokédex. And yet, Pokemon insists on throwing all sorts of barriers between me and what I want to do in the game. I won't even start on how much this second playthrough has made me dislike Nimona. Now, there are a few ways in which the game actually respects the player's time, such as the option to turn off all the prompts for learning new moves, naming caught Pokemon, and automatically sending caught Pokemon to boxes. But these options have been in Pokemon games before, and they don't do anything to diminish the massive deluge of unskippable text that NPCs like Creepy Clavel vomits out. And yet, I'm still playing. I'm playing a lot on a game that I completed less than a year ago. Part of that comes from the special restrictions that I've placed on myself, and I'll talk about that more in my next video in this series, but most of it is just that they really, really nailed the fun parts of Pokemon in this game, making those fun parts even more fun. When you finally get done spamming the A button to get to them, that is. If you want to follow along as I learn to love Violet again, hit that like and subscribe button. If you don't want to follow along, this dialogue is actually skippable, unlike Pokemon Violet's. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.